All right, so Mom and Son Get Deals Done is presenting an incredible conversation with Zach Williams from State Bank. He's breaking down how buyers can potentially turn a $500 investment into $30,000 in grants. And if you're serious about buying a home, you need to hear this. Hi, I'm Danielle Alexander, real estate agent with Coldwell Banker Realty, and I'm joined today with
Dairrick Alexander, also a fellow Coldwell Banker agent.
and my son. This is my sunshine. So we're able to sell homes together. And we are so excited to have a guest here with us today. So just want to welcome everyone. I'm excited to be here alongside of my co-host Derek. And as we bring another powerful conversation designed to help more people step into home ownership. So today we are sitting down with a mortgage expert to talk about something everyone wants to know more about, which is free money toward buying a home. Yes, you heard that right. There's free money available to take away any barrier that you may think is out there so that you can purchase a home. And we'll be breaking down not one, but two incredible $15,000 grant programs that can help buyers reduce upfront costs and make homeownership more achievable than ever. If you're wondering, can I actually afford to buy a home? This conversation is for you. So let's jump into it and get real information straight from the source. So let me introduce you to Zach Williams. So Zach, tell us more about yourself, who you're with, your bank, and let's get into it.
Thanks, Danielle and Derek, for having me. Zach Williams with State Bank. We're a local community bank based out of the Defiance area of Ohio, but we've been in Central Ohio for the last 20 years or so. I've been with State Bank for the last 10 years. I've been in lending for 14. So I'm really comfortable and confident in the type of programs that we have at State Bank. And the two programs we're going to talk about today are two fantastic homeownership programs for those individuals looking.
Can you explain in simple terms what the $15,000 Welcome Home Grant is? And let's talk about opportunities on how buyers can take advantage of it right now.
So the Welcome Home Grant is a grant that we're given access to. It's a $50,000 grant. Most community banks in Central Ohio are allocated X amount of funds to be used for this grant. The bank was given $300,000. We decided to break it down into $15,000 grants. So that works out to about 20 deals. So $15,000 grants. It's for anyone in the state of Ohio. You don't have to just be Central Ohio to utilize this program. It is for first-time home buyers and non-first-time home buyers that can access this program. It's a great program. There are certain restrictions on income and things like that, and we can dive into that a little more, but it's a great program.
And that's great that you mentioned that this program is not only geared for first-time home buyers, but also repeat home buyers as well. So
Correct.
Talk a little bit about some of the criteria that a repeat homeowner will need to qualify for as far as being able to take advantage of this grant.
One of the key pieces for the Welcome Home Grant is the income limit. And the income limit in Franklin County is about $86,000 for your household. So anyone who's going to be living in the house that works has their income counted as part of this grant program. So It's really an 80% area median income grant. So if someone's trying to utilize this grant in Allen County, Ohio, so Lima area, so to speak, their 80% mark is about $60,000. So it really depends from county to county. But here in Franklin County, we talk about an $86,000 income threshold for the household. So if a husband and wife both work, their income combined cannot be more than $86,000. If they have husband, wife, and grandma lives with them and grandma works, their combined income can't be more than $86,000. So those are just key pieces to understand because it is a little more nuanced than maybe some others.
That makes sense. So I have to go straight to the source and make sure we speak with you to go over the qualification guidelines and parameters. So again, folks, do not get discouraged. We will have you speak with Zach so we can make sure we cover
all. And if they don't
bases.
Qualify for this program, there are other programs available.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
We have options for you guys.
Always options available.
I love it. That's why I love having this conversation. So again, we have State Bank, Zach, removing all barriers so that there's no reason why you are not off the sidelines. So anyone who is renting, again, the conversation is for you and these programs are for you. So let's talk more about someone who receives the $15,000 welcome home grant. Talk about repayment penalties. How do you calculate that?
So
Or
there is
do
a
we know about that?
5 year, there's a 5 year retention period for this grant. So they're going to be given the $15,000 as part of their closing. They have to live in the property for at least 5 years. If they were to move or refinance or sell the home prior to that 5 years, they do have to pay back that grant amount. You just have to live in this home
5 years,
Very
for
absolutely.
5 years.
good.
Absolutely.
And the
Simple as
national
that.
average is 7 or 8. So they should be within
Mhm.
that threshold. After that 5 years, the deed restrictions removed, and they can move, they can do whatever they want with that property.
Right. After
Gotcha.
5 years, they contact Derek and I. So we can
That's
talk
right.
about selling your house and transfer your equity into your next place to call home because
Absolutely.
relatively homes appreciate in value anywhere from 3%. And I did a post a couple weeks ago that National Association of Real Estate Brokers talked
Mhm.
about appreciation value. If you purchased a home back in 2016 for maybe 225 homes right now, average price is well over $400,000 to $14,000.
Mhm.
So that is real dollars, real money. And that's why we're having a conversation like we are today. So we can remove barriers so that if you're on the sideline, do not let the lack of down payment money stop you from buying a home because there's programs out there, which leads us into the next program. I'm not mistaken, Zach, there's another program called Growing Homeownership Fund. Can you talk to us about that fund?
Yeah, so the Growing Homeownership Fund is more localized to Central Ohio. That is
Okay.
administered by Homeport, who's a large affordable housing developer here in Central Ohio. It's a 15 up to a $15,000 grant
Okay.
for current residents of Franklin County who are buying in Franklin County. Now, the key piece on that with regard to income, as I said, a lot of these programs have very specific income requirements. This one will go up to 120% of the
Wow.
area median income. And it's for only the borrowers on the loan versus the welcome
Excellent.
home is for anyone living in the home. So,
Gotcha.
for
Mhm.
example, in Franklin County, any single borrower could make up to about $130,000 on the loan and be able to access these growing homeownership funds grant. A husband and wife who are both on the loan, if their combined income is up to 130, then they would qualify.
That makes
So
sense.
quick
Or
question.
maybe it's a stay-at-home mom and the husband works and he makes 120,000. They could qualify.
So
Very
quick
good.
question. I know a common question that we get from first-time home buyers and even repeat buyers. Are there programs where they're stackable?
Oh,
So
yeah.
are these two programs able to be stackable if the family or the household is under that $86,000 threshold income that you mentioned about the welcome home?
Good
Could they
question.
stack both of these programs together?
They absolutely can be stackable.
Wow.
So-
Oh my God. Oh, no, you know what? That's not rehearsed because I'm thinking now it's one or the other, but Zach, not only.
So stackable grants are fantastic. These can also be stacked with OFA grants. So you could
Okay.
get an OFA program and they can be stacked with OFA. What can be
Wow.
sometimes difficult about stacking is threading that needle to make sure they
Yes.
qualify and meet all the guidelines of both
Correct.
all at the same time. Those sorts of things, but very generally, yes, they can be stacked.
Oh my goodness. So in the
That is
perfect
awesome.
world, every lines up, so many stars line up. $30,000 grant money could be available. Am I hearing that?
Potentially, yeah.
Yes.
That is
Wow.
amazing. So everyone get off the sidelines. If you are thinking about buying a home, don't think about it, take action. We need you to get on the phone and contact us today. So I didn't tell you more about my history, but I've been selling real estate for almost 30 years. And one of the reoccurring statements that I would talk to or hear from buyers is, I wish there was free money out there. I
Mhm.
wish there was money available to help us buy a house. Well, your wishes have come true because this program is amazing. So
Awesome.
that's why we're having a conversation like this today, because we're learning as we're talking to you now. You can stack the programs, and it's possible to get up to $30,000. I'm
Some people are
speechless.
saying, no, this could be too good to be true, but this is true, correct, Zach?
Yes, you heard it right.
It is true. Are there
Yes,
guidelines and requirements to do it? Yes, but we won't know if you qualify if you don't call and ask us.
that's
So
right. Get
let's
on the phone.
have that conversation. And
Yes.
maybe you're not ready now and we got to do some
Yes.
work to get you ready. Homeownership
Mhm.
is possible for everyone. We can build the plan required to get these people into a home as soon as they're able.
That makes sense.
Oh.
Kind of leads us into the next question. So again, from your perspective, who should contact you and contact us to use this program? So just reiterate that if you would, please.
Absolutely. So very generally, you can say, oh, anyone trying to buy a house should reach out and we can chat. But to be
Right.
more specific, let's think about maybe people who recently got married and they're thinking about buying their first home.
Yes.
People who recently expanded their family with maybe a new baby and they're growing out of the
Right.
apartment that they're living in. Let's keep those people in mind as potential opportunities to help because they are looking for their next step in life. And those are the types of people that we can certainly help. Now, those are just two examples, but maybe it's an elderly individual who's made a lifelong goal of one day owning a home. I've helped
Yes.
many individuals like that. And
Right.
there's a great opportunity for even those single mothers who are working hard
Yes.
and certainly could benefit from any extra help that they can get. So those are just specific opportunities for people to chat. But very generally, anyone who wants to buy a home can access opportunities when they come available.
That's great. And for parents who are listening to this who have their adult children living at home.
That
So
too. That's a
that's
great
funny.
specific example too. Yeah.
That's a very specific example because on the conference I went to last week, they had talked about aging parents and parents who have aging children who are at home that graduated college, they're in their degree, they're in their field, and they're thinking, well, why should I rent? I'm at home. Mom and dad have a finished basement. I love it. I want to stay here. I want to stay comfortable. So the whole entire breakout session with the conference was having parents educate their kids on buying a home. So for those who are listening and your children at home, have them take advantage of this program. 15,000, quite honestly, $30,000 available in free money to get them into their next place to call home. That's phenomenal. So with that in mind, Zach, are the funds limited? Are they available year round or what's the timeline?
They are limited. So Welcome Home, as I had mentioned, we only have a certain allotment. That allotment becomes available April 6th. We are taking reservations prior to that.
Yes.
They do
That's
need
why we're
to
having this
be,
conversation, right?
clients do need to be in contract to get on the registration list prior to that.
Yes. Okay.
The Growing Homeownership Fund, I don't have a specific allotment amount from Homeport. I've not been advised on an allotment amount. I would imagine because of the needs in our community that it would go quickly. So certainly the sooner we can have these conversations, the better.
That makes
Yes,
sense.
first come, first serve. So
Yes.
everybody, don't wait on the fence and say, oh, I'm going to wait until the market takes a turn. No, this is your opportunity now to take advantage of this free money so that you can walk into your new home with some equity.
Exactly. That's a good point. So with the free grant money and the program that's out there, that's conceivably or quite honestly instant equity. So getting the grant money, the grant programs, you're definitely stepping into homeownership with instant equity with free grant money that's available. So if someone assumes that they can't qualify, what could you do to encourage them with other options? So let's say someone waited, or again, it is first come, first serve, it's limited funds available. So if a potential buyer loses out or can't take advantage of this program, what's your recommendation?
Like I mentioned, there's other programs available. So that's a down payment assistance program that's provided statewide. Here at State Bank specifically, while small, we do have a $1,500 grant that can help cover costs as well. We also have our community home loan, which is 100% financing with no PMI. So if they're buying a $100,000 house, we'll lend them $100,000.
Perfect.
And that's good to know. So you mentioned PMI, private mortgage insurance. That adds additional cost to your payment. So if you could take advantage of the programs that Zach mentioned, PMI, you just gave an example of the house is 100,000, roughly that's an extra, how much? $100, 150?
It depends, probably $50, an extra $50 a month on your monthly payment. That if it could be reduced, then it would certainly help.
So take advantage of it. So no money down and no PMI. So the options are endless. There is no reason why you, the potential buyer, does not take advantage of this. And you have to really take heed to the information that's out there.
So quick question, Zach, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that's going to listen to this and curious about the interest rates and even an estimated cost for closing costs. So talk a little bit about, is there a specific interest rate geared towards these programs? And then what's an estimated closing cost that these buyers should factor into their budget?
Good point.
Yeah, great question. So for the Welcome Home and Growing Homeownership Fund, there is not any sort of additional rate bumps. So depending on their loan type, they're just going to be subject to regular FHA or conventional rates, which are currently hanging out just under 6%. If they were to take advantage of an OFA loan or an OFA grant, which is the statewide program that I had mentioned, those rates are a little higher just to the way that they structure those grants. There's still a great opportunity for home buyers in that space. Our community home loan, while it is 100% financing, slight bump in rate there as well. From a closing cost perspective, clients can expect to be prepared for about $3,400 in closing costs generally. That doesn't include taxes or insurance or things like that.
And those closing costs, ladies and gentlemen, we can negotiate and have the seller pay those closing costs for you.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So you can quite honestly take advantage of a zero down program using the grants that Zach mentioned. Negotiation would help with closing costs paid by the seller. So again, it's a phenomenal time to buy.
Many of those programs, the minimum requirement is that they at least bring 500 of their own funds to the closing table, which would allow plenty of room for you to negotiate to have their cost covered. They could get a gift from a family member. So if there were still some funds needed that weren't covered by these grants, they can be negotiated, they can be gifted. There are ways. They just have to have at least 500 of their own funds into the deal.
Oh my goodness, $500 out of your pocket to become a homeowner, to own the place that you call home, own the roof over your head. And then we use the term, you're making your landlord rich. And honestly, you're paying for the roof of your head. That's a temporary roof of your head when you're renting. But we're giving you an opportunity to purchase a home with only $500 out of your pocket. This is phenomenal. And let's talk really quickly about, you mentioned qualification guidelines, FHA conventional. So credit scores, I know some people are going to cringe and say, I'm not buying because of my credit. If you haven't checked your credit in the last 30 to 60 days, we want to make sure you speak with Zach and have a credit report pulled. But talk to us a little bit about credit scores and what should buyers be prepared for.
So most of these programs do require at least a 650 credit. We can go as low as 640 to help in any scenario.
Very good. And if you're not aware of what your credit score is, then you definitely need to call us. So we need to find out where are you.
So we can build a plan. As part of the services that I provide, we do some credit counseling around, hey, we're not quite there. Work towards paying this thing off. Hey, work towards doing this. And then we can build that plan that this is what you're going to do in the next 4 to 6 months. We're going to reconvene in 4 to 6 months, and we're going to get you this other grant that's available.
That is a phenomenal game.
And that's so important to your home buyers. It's just a lot of people we come in contact with, they're just shooting in the dark. I always tell them it's better served if you have an action plan. And we're going to align you with some partners that's going to be able to move along that plan with those action steps. Because if you don't have action steps and you're shooting in the dark, then you'll always just sit on the sidelines. So it's best to align yourself with partners with a supporting cast so that we can make your home ownership come true.
That's exactly right. Starts with a game plan, but it most importantly starts with a phone call. So let's get into how we can reach out to you and put clients in contact with you. So how do we reach out to you, Zach?
The best way is just a phone call or even a text. I'm a millennial, so let's
text, email, this definitely reach out, but that's the first step is reach out. Phone call, text, let's start your game plan right now. Do not wait. Limited funds, first come, first serve. If you miss out, we have other opportunities available. And I tell you, State Bank, you have tons of options. I saw an email where if we're working on a game plan and let's say buyer doesn't have the money right now, you have a savings program. Let's talk a little bit about that. It's like a $300 deposit to a savings account. So we're taking away all barriers. So talk about that real quick.
So we're offering, it's actually a free checking account. You'd have to just set up a direct deposit for, I think you have to have direct deposit for 90 days and we'll give you $300.
Just like that, so there's free money. So again, do not let the $500 deposit out of pocket for you to buy a house stop you. State Bank will give you money once you set up a savings account, hold it for 90 days, and they're going to deposit money into your account. So again, we are removing all barriers. There is no reason why you do not buy a house, and just at least give yourself a chance to make the phone call to take the steps to start your path toward home ownership.
The easiest thing to say now is just a conversation is free. People can still be afraid to call because I'm not ready or whatever. A conversation is completely free. There's no obligation to do anything with anybody, but just have a conversation. You have to educate yourself on the process and what you qualify for to even know what you can do. We have to start somewhere.
All right, now, did you enjoy this conversation? Are you excited about turning your $500 investment into potentially $30,000 in grant money towards your home purchase? Why wouldn't you explore it? Information is free. Know better so you can do better and be confident in your next move. If you want to learn more, click the link in the comments or click the link in our bio and schedule your appointment today. Let's get you off the sidelines and into your home. And as always,
To buy, to sell, call Danielle.
and double the fun and call her son, where mom and son
Get deals done.